Hello there, and how are you on this beautiful and incredible day? Welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine, your host. As a mindset alchemist, I love helping you understand what your words, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and your actions do to create in your life, or alternatively, decay in your life. Which do you prefer, the create or the decay? It depends on where our focus is, isn't it? Well, today I am so excited to speak to you about the magic of words for manifesting, how we create with our words, how we actually, through listening to what we are speaking, we are able to understand, what are we thinking? Those of you who've listened to other episodes, and thank you for doing so, have come to understand that our story is so important. The story we think and tell ourselves on a daily basis shows where our heart is, shows where our mind is, and shows where our beliefs are. Now, we have this most incredible system. It's called our brain, it's called our consciousness. And as you access that consciousness, that awareness, you begin to create in a more aligned way, purely because you start to see and recognize the loops you're looping and to do something different, like a pattern interrupt. Have you ever had it when you're thinking and suddenly there's this bang, bang, bang on the door or the phone rings and you, that's a pattern interrupt. It interrupts your thoughts that you were thinking, it interrupts where you were. So today I'd like to offer you something. Instead of saying, I think, how does it feel to say, I feel, I experience? Because so often when we say, I think, we're cutting ourselves off from the neck down and we're only able to use our brain and not our entire energy system, our entire body, and that very important power center, which is there below your belly button. Oh, interesting fact, which I'm not sure if you know. I'm a qualified midwife, and when I was practicing, one of the facts that I learned that I started doing in my antenatal and postnatal classes, not doing but sharing, is the reason why pregnant women appear to become clumsy is because their center of gravity is moving out in front of them. So it's to shift to that new center of gravity. And I've come to understand that we do this at an energetic level as well. We learn to shift our center of gravity as we shift our story. We shift which side of the manifesting, actualizing spectrum we wish to be on. When we are manifesting and actualizing, because you're manifesting all the time, it's when it becomes solid and real that you've actually actualized it. There's a slight difference there, and it's quite an interesting one, and it has quite interesting processes for the way we use our words. Because what are you actually actualizing and what are you manifesting? You may be manifesting because you are unconsciously sending orders and laying seeds in your subconscious rather than consciously choosing to actualize things in a certain way or a certain manner, or thinking, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to have this, and letting go of how it manifests. So you wish to actualize a red apple and you let go of how it comes. Now the options are you can go and buy it, you can have one in the kitchen, somebody can bring you one. Suddenly you can go somewhere and someone has a tree with red apples on. There are infinite possibilities. And when you allow actualization, you don't set parameters on how you're going to receive it. You allow it, you receive it, and you just open yourself up to the infinite possibilities of it. Now, this is where words come in because we can constrict ourselves so badly, and we do through our words. Phrases like, oh, it'll never happen. Oh, I won't ever be able to do that. Oh, my goodness, good things never happen to me. Well, you setting up parameters for your life. You are putting seeds into that subconscious part of yourself that then goes to work and allows your message to become true, creates the story you're telling yourself. And guess what? Things don't happen then. I was reading, I think it's Dan Millman's book about the warrior, where the car drives into the petrol station and says to the attendant there, wow, what are the people like in this town? And his answer was, what were they like in your other town? And this, oh, they were warm, they were friendly, they were amazing, they were just incredible. And his very wise answer was, well, they will be the same in this town. Then, about 2 hours later, somebody else drives up and says, oh, I'm moving to this town. What are the people like? Well, sir, what were they like in the last town? Grumpy, miserable, clicky, nobody would associate with me. Well, sir, I think you might find the same here. Whoa. And that all comes down to attitude, perception, and the stories we tell ourselves, those seeds we're planting in our brains. Where would you like to create magic in your life? You know, as a young person, I love stories about fairies and hobgoblins and elves. They're actually just energy. Well, I mustn't say they're just energy. They are a form and an interpretation of energy, and there's a way of using them. Now, imagine, because this is where you begin creating your story in your imagination, with visualization, with putting in words, with feeling the feelings, with seeing it before you experience it, so that you may experience it. Think of yourself as a beautiful, fluttery, sparkly fairy who waves the wand and the magic dust sparkles, like Tinkerbell in Peter Pan, and the dust just sparkles around. You have the potential with your words to do this. Now, I call it my manifesting muscle and my actualizing, accurate actualizing. And with that, we create in our life. Start thinking of not necessarily of what you have if you dislike it, but of where you would like to expand to. I find I do this while I'm running. I visualize and I experience and I feel the home I would love to have, the various things I'd enjoy. And guess what? It shifts and it changes. The theme doesn't shift and change. However, the way it works out, the way I place the furniture, the books I'm reading, these all shift and change. The clients I'm seeing, I change their hair color, their style, um, how I'm seeing them, either in person or on Zoom or through email. And this is how I use that beautiful magic of our mind, our body, and our soul, our power center, which is four fingers below our belly button, our center of gravity, so that I can shift the center of my focus towards what it is I enjoy rather than what it is I don't enjoy. Have you ever read Viktor Frankl's The Meaning of Life? It is really a very powerful story, a way of being, and an example of where we're going. Yes, there's also Ralph Waldo Emerson, Napoleon Hill, uh, not Joseph Campbell, although yes, Murphy, and all of these people speak about using the power we have with our thoughts and our words to create new. Because people, that is what alchemy is. It's transforming and transmuting something from one state to another. So if you don't like and enjoy the state you are in, transform it through using the vibrational energy of your words, of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your message. Use the magic of your message and wave that beautiful sparkly wand and start allowing it. I have actually recently had the most amazing experiences of this. I set the intention for various clients and it began happening. I set the intention to run 10 kilometers easily, effortlessly, with no strain, managing it. To date, I have run it, but boy, I got so sore afterwards. And I didn't run for about, I think it was about 4 weeks after that. I was so sore. My hips really were not speaking to me. So I set the intention I would choose to do this again. And I started feeling my muscles like warm, stretchy, toffee, my body responding to it. When I was running, I would visualize myself like a feather floating across the ground instead of going doof, 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 doof. And it was just so amazing and incredible. Well, we went to attend my son's wedding in a beautiful location. We stayed on a nature reserve and a game reserve. And my husband said, "Come, let's run." I said to him, "It was safe to run. You can run during the day. You may not run after sunset, not that, and choose to stay safe." Although for me, I know I'm safe. So, however, we adhere to the rules because one has to understand that other people have perceptions and rules, and we respect that. So off we go. And just to add, I don't like running in hot weather. It does not enthrall me at all. So off we go, and thank goodness it was an overcast day. It was not that hot because they can have temperatures of 42 degrees Celsius there in Hoedspruit. It was a warm and mild 25 degrees, aiming for 32 that day. And off we went, and we had a delicious little bit of a rain, not hard, just like a light fine rain, and that cleared up, and we carried on running. And I said to him, "Are you sure you know where we are?" No, he knows the route. And it's quite interesting. He'd run it with my son the day before, and we could actually see in several places his shoe tracks going the other way. And then we came to a spot, and I heard to go left. I said, "Okay, well, let's go right just in case." So anyway, we wound up turning around, going back left. Well, people, instead of the 4K run, I got just over 10 kilometers that day, and I did it with ease. I did it with absolute gratitude, and the most beautiful energy coming from the earth and the bush, the warthogs, the zebras that we saw, the beautiful birds that joined us. And at one point, it was just so amazing. We weren't quite sure of a direction, and we both heard, "Follow the bird." And this bird hopped down the path, and we followed him. And guess what? We came back to the main road that we lived on. And so off we trotted home with gratitude for the hornbill, for listening to our intuition. And I was extremely grateful to see that I had actualized with ease and joy and absolute exuberant expression of life glory a 10-kilometer run. And I was able to run the next day with no challenges at all. That is the power of our mindset. That is the power of our attitude. That is the power of our words, of visualizing and tapping into the energy that is within us. I would love to connect with you and hear more about you. I would also absolutely be so grateful if you left me a 5-star review on iTunes. My intention is to create this as one of the best podcasts out and help people create awareness as they exercise that awareness to create more consciously in their life, to know intuitively, to absolutely choose intentionally and be effortlessly. Because when we tap into that power of ourselves, it just is incredible what comes forward for us. Thank you for joining me. Come and visit me on all the different social media platforms, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.